What happens in 100 days of Roots of Pacha when you have never played the game before? That's right, not only is it 100 days of Roots of Pacha, it is my first ever 100 days of Roots of Pacha I've ever played. We're going to see a true progression of a new game because I had no knowledge of the game, and even though I made some good choices, I made equally as many bad choices. Let's find out what happened right now. Since it was the first time playing, I didn't really preset any goals because I had no idea what to expect in the game, but as I learned, I made some goals, so I'll keep you updated throughout the video. So let's go right into day one. I, of course, did some exploring after I made my character and watched the opening scenes, met some of my clanmates, then I fished, I played the bones game and failed miserably, planted some crops, and then by the end of the day, I found a place to sleep. It's not my own place, but it will do for now. Day 2. It was the Pacha festival, so I chose the seal of the tree of Pacha and plants will grow faster, which I thought was probably a no-brainer and a very safe choice for my first playthrough. I didn't really get too much else done other than meeting some more clanmates, and then I figured out how to dance and, well, I just danced by myself. Day 3, I got the flute from Akka. I watered my crops. I had an idea from Frere, which was to catch 3 fish, so I tried to complete that, and I found some beans. Day 4 was a day of rain. I used the flute to attune some animals, and then I visited the caves for the very first time and was immediately intrigued. Day 5, I explored the forest some more, and I found some cave paintings. On day 6, I witnessed them building a bridge to the jungle, so I was really excited for that to be done. I got the small hut, and then I got a well, and it was a big fail because I did not know how or where to place it. I regrouped the next day on day 7, and I explored the woods. I had an animal trust me enough, so I got an idea to build a corral with Krull. And then I chopped some trees and was pretty much out of energy, so I went to bed early. On day 8, the jungle was finally unlocked, and I was really excited because we also got to look at the prophecy board, which is one of the main ways to drive the story and the progression forward in the game, so I thought that was awesome. I also tried to upgrade a tool, but I realized I needed flint and I hadn't found yet any, so that is my next mission. And then I spent the rest of the day doing chores, such as clearing some debris and watering my crops. Day 9, it rained and I discovered a shortcut in the forest and finally built a shed. And on day 10, I just tended to my farm, and then I did a bunch of fishing and tested it out in the dryer and the smoker. On day 11, I finally figured out how to place the well. I tamed some animals and I rode the ibex for the first time. On day 12, I went into the caves, I met another clan, went to the beach, and then figured out that drying goods was better than smoking, at least for stamina. Day 13, I figured out crafting chests and bought the shear. Day 14, I found the sea cave, I found a new cave room, I found some flint, which I knew I was going to need a lot of, so I started collecting it, and I found sea kale. Day 15 was pretty boring, I just collected flint and seeds. On day 16, it was Ibon's birthday, so I gave a gift, and used my newly upgraded axe to collect some hardwood. On day 17, I got a new water bucket, which will make watering crops a lot easier from now on, and I spent most of the day exploring the caves. Day 18, I used the plant nursery that I just built, I did racing for the first time, and then I explored the savannah. On day 19, I got the earring of stamina from the jungle, and I spent more time searching through the savannah. The next day, I competed in another race and got third, and I built a flint hammer. On day 21, I had a very awkward cutscene with Ibon, and probably the last time I think I talked to her in this game. I also got a pot, and then I spent the day in the caves again, got to the owl totem, and solved the puzzle after a very, very long time of trying. Day 22 and day 23 were pretty boring. I had a pretty big harvest and just spent most of the time in the caves. Still couldn't crack the sea room. Day 24, I found some wheat in the savannah and I gifted Took. On day 25, I finally gathered the stuff to make the press idea happen, and I also caught my first Cheetons fish. Day 26 wasn't that eventful. I mostly cleared land to make room for my future farm developments, and I caught a new kind of fish on the beach. Day 27 was just more land clearing, but then on day 28, I finally completed the press. I found an olive, which let me craft some oil, and then I could finally complete the tummy medicine quest that has been taking me way too long. On day 29, it was the first day of summer, so I spent the entire day searching all the areas that I now had access to for the summer crops. Then on day 30, I spent all day planting every crop that I found so far. Day 31, I hit up the caves and I wasn't watching my time and I passed out. Day 32, I tended to my crops, of course, and then I went to the savannah and used my flute to help tame some new animals. On day 33, I was minding my own business in the caves and I came across the horse totem. And then I decided to make it a goal to find out whatever I needed to complete the horse totem by the end of this 100 days. I also discovered that there was a monkey and a bear totem as well, so I decided that I wanted to complete those ones as well, which would make 5 in total by the end of this 100 days. On day 34, I watered a lot of crops, built a fence for my animal shed, had the workshop idea come up, which I was really excited about because I needed some more tools. I came in third in a race and I won a ring of the trainer. On day 35, I visited this savannah and I found amaranth. I cleaned up animal dung in the shed, which is disgusting, and I added an ostrich to my clan. On day 36, I just watered my crops and I discovered eggplants. Day 37 was a little bit more interesting. I started crafting the obsidian hammer. I had a cutscene with Vada, and I remembered that I really needed to start shaking the trees because I was missing out on a lot of forageable goods. Day 38 was pretty uneventful. However, on day 39, I did a big harvest, I picked up my new hammer, and then dropped off my axe to be upgraded, and then I started to sun-dry a lot of tomatoes, which ended up becoming my staple when I was going in the caves or running out of stamina fishing for the rest of this 100 days. So it kind of became my go-to item to use to eat until I found something a little better. On day 40, I completed the one with the wild achievement. And then on day 41, I heard a rumble in the jungle, which resulted in a bigger tree with even more quests to complete. Found mint finally, and explored the savannah again. Day 42, I found sunflowers, pineapple, went to the caves for the rest of the day, and got through quite a few rooms, but then I did end up passing out by the end of it. On day 43, I talked with Zelk about trading. I went to the cave and found some new nodes. Then I finally found the entrance to the beach cave, found the monkey totem to start working on that, and then again passed out, becoming a little bit of a pattern. On day 44, I went to the caves, and on the way I grabbed a spear for fishing from Inza. On day 45, I visited the monkey totem finally, and I basically spent all day in the caves trying to figure out how to get to this room. Day 46, I had a bunch of sick animals, which is really annoying, but I tended to that. I watered all my crops, I found some more pineapple, and I crafted Michael for the first time, which became very, very useful. And I just went to bed early. Day 47, I crafted some more dryers since I was using them a lot, got the winemaker idea going, and found the monkey area with the owl power. On day 48, I finally won a race, and to top it all off, I found a very rare Zeus fish that I still haven't done anything with to this day because I never want to give it up. Day 49, I spent the majority of the day harvesting and replanting, and then day 50, I just went through the caves pretty much all day. Day 51, I'm about halfway through now, so I decided that I was going to set some more goals. I wanted to get over 200,000 contributions, which seemed kind of like a long way, but I did feel like I was starting to ramp up. And then I also wanted to get 100 smoke signals completed. I also wanted to try to complete 10 prophecies and get married, but I kind of figured that I would not be getting married because I had barely talked to anyone in the game other than just a few times here and there. And then on day 51, I got a belt so that I could have more items in my inventory. I did some harvesting and I crafted an obsidian hoe. On day 52, I used the presser to make a lot of juice, and then I attended the beach festival, which was really fun. It had a ton of different mini games and prizes, which I really enjoyed, and it was a good way to spend the day and just kind of get out of the monotony of tending to my crops and animals. Day 53 was probably the cutest day that I ever played. I got a pet bunny and it did not disappoint. And then I also got the luminescence pendant, which ended up really helping me in the caves, which we'll see on a future day. I completed another prophecy on day 54, and I also tried a mango for the horse totem, and I was so sure it was going to be right, but it was not. On day 55, I picked up the luminescent pendant that I mentioned that I finally was getting, and I passed out in the caves because I stayed way too long. On day 56, it was my final summer harvest. I found cave painting, which was really helpful. I had a full page of contributions for the first time in a day ever, and I found a new portal point, which was very helpful as well. Day 57 was fall 1, and it rained, which was great, so I tried to find as many crops as I could and plant them. I found some rosemary, and that was pretty much it for the day. Day 58, I spent the day gifting people, even though it was kind of a waste of time at this point. I got some new ideas completed, and I discovered some new crops. On day 59, I wanted to start maximizing my time and economy, so I planted a new plot full of crops so that I could really increase production. And then on day 60, there was a clan gathering, and I harvested my first pineapple. On day 61, I gifted Took, and he did not like it, which was very sad. I completed 3 ideas, and I got a beehive. And to this day, I still am not sure how the beehives work. And according to Reddit, they don't either. Day 62, I did another race, and I got 2nd place, and I upgraded my watering can. Day 63, I wanted to complete some more prophecies, so I tried to plant a pomegranate seed because I had a feeling that was going to work and going to complete one of the tasks, but side note, it did not. I also really upped my contribution game. I sold a bunch of obsidian and a lot of other things, and I ended up getting over 4,000 contribution points, which put me well over 100,000 at this point. On day 64, I increased my new crop area to make it even better and placed a new well in it, and it was a big planting day. I also got my copper watering can. On day 65, it was a pure production day because I really wanted to start moving things along. Little did I know that I was kind of focused in the wrong area. I spent way too much time on crops, but we'll get into that a little bit later. I also gifted my bunny, which was so cute, and I fertilized some of my crops for the first time. Day 66, I noticed it was Took's birthday, so I gave a pineapple, and it was a big success. I also discovered buckwheat that day. Day 67, I realized that the crop wheel has multiple layers to it, and I forgot to switch those layers, so there was a ton of crops that I had discovered but not yet planted. So then I planted everything I hadn't, and then I had a really cool cutscene with Took. It was very wholesome. And then I spent some more time, of course, in the caves because I'm realizing I'm just obsessed with exploring the caves. Day 68, I had a big contribution of mining goods. I made some pear juice, got some honey from the beehive, and I gave mana and Frere gifts, and I got another mango. Day 69 was not that eventful, but I did have a big harvest, and I was starting to feel like I was really moving forward with my farm production and getting the hang of this game. Day 70, I had a little bit of an outfit change, and then I just tended to my crops all day and collected some other raw materials, such as chopping wood and stones. Day 71, I realized I was forgetting to feed my animals, so aside from tending to my crops, I really tried to get back on track with those. Day 72 was another pretty big harvest. I also crafted a upgraded copper hoe. I finished the hammock idea, and I did some cooking with my new house. Day 73, I attended the festival, which was really fun, and my bunny followed me around, which was heartbreakingly adorable. Day 74, I picked up my copper hoe. It was raining again and still couldn't get into the cloud guard entrance, and I couldn't figure out why. I thought it was the hoe that I needed, but I was sadly mistaken. Day 75, I gave my ibex a break and decided that I was going to start riding my ostrich. I built another animal shed, and it kind of started leading up to my biggest problem at the end game of this 100 days. So on day 76, what I realized is I needed a lot of fur, and I had barely any animals that even produced fur. So I was going to have a really hard time collecting enough fur for the next mission. I thought it was only this one mission, but it turned out to be even more missions requiring fur. So my biggest tip for you is when you're playing this game, do not forget about the animals and especially shearing them for their fur. Day 77, I made some more Myco because I knew winter was coming and I wanted to have enough to keep my crops growing into the winter. And then I had a cutscene with Vala. Day 78, I crafted the copper sickle. Finally found bones, which apparently you can just pick up on the savannah floor, and I did a big squash harvest. On day 79, I went to find more bones since I needed them for an idea. I attuned some more animals, I invited a boar to live in my shed to hopefully get some more fur, and I realized I needed some sapphire. I also had a cutscene with Frere. Day 80, I made it to the sand area in the caves, and I finally got through the cloud garden. Day 81, I got an anklet, I invited another boar to my clan, and I placed some Myco down. Day 82, I had an idea with Era, watered my crops, and collected some supplies, and then I also traded with Zelk. Day 83 was a pretty boring day. I just tended to what I needed to on my land. Day 84 was the last day of fall, so I had a lot to do. I did my last harvest, and I finished one idea for Era, and then started a second one. I also planted a bunch of squash, padded with Myco so it could grow into winter, and then I cleared the rest of my land and finished my fence because that was really bothering me. Day 85, first day of winter, I kind of assumed it was like other farming sims where you couldn't really do farming during the winter, and then I realized that I already had a crop that you could plant in spring and winter, which was the beets. So I did that, and then I found broccoli and kohlrabi and got those planted as well. Day 86, I found the bear totem, and I immediately recognized that I was going to need cheese and wine. The wine I already had, but the cheese I did not. But then there was one more painting I needed to find to figure out what I needed to do. I also found some lettuce and got that planted as well. Day 87 was so frustrating. I could not find the last bear totem cave painting, and I also was really concerned that I was not going to be able to complete the cheese. Day 88, I found some more crops. I found oats and peas and got some of those planted, and then I completed an idea with Juck. On day 89, I finally found the last bear painting and realized I still don't have any cheese. I also tried out some more cooking to see if I could find some more recipes that were going to be good for stamina and I could mass produce. Day 90, I only have 10 days left, so I really wanted to revisit my goals and see how far away I was from everything. I also did another race and I got third again, and I gave another gift to Took. On day 91 in my mailbox, I got the rye bread recipe. I also got a milker because I knew I was going to need that to get this cheese completed. I had a cutscene with Mana. I bought some seeds and some kitchen supplies, and I worked on a plan to complete some of these jungle prophecies as I'm getting very close to the end, and I'm nowhere near 10 jungle prophecies completed. On day 92, I sprinted to go see Acre so I could pick up my milker, and I got milk and sour cream, but still no cheese, and then I upgraded my animal shed. Day 93, I had another cutscene with Took, did some more attuning with some animals on the savannah, and then I used compost on some of my crops because I thought I might need that for one of my prophecy tasks. Day 94, I had a huge harvest of squashes, and I was getting pretty close to 200,000 contribution points, which I was really stoked about. On day 95, I got an idea for what I could only assume was going to be the cheese from Nock. I had a big contribution, and I attended the Winter Festival and had a fun snowball fight. Day 96, I tried to get a photo that I could use for my day 100 on my thumbnail, And I ran around madly looking for fur because, yet again, I need some more and I have basically none. Day 97, I harvested and sold some random stuff to get closer to the 200,000 contribution mark. And then on day 98, I was kind of feeling a little defeated and realizing I really mucked up this first playthrough. So I just kind of cleared my farm and collected a mango. On day 99, I was at 199 870 contribution points, so I sold stuff to make sure I hit that 200,000 mark. On day 100, I just did a recap of everything I did and didn't achieve. Again, I wasn't putting too much pressure on myself because this is the first time I ever played the game, and there's a lot of things I definitely would do differently. Not spending as much time in the caves and not spending as much time farming, and maybe doing some of the quests and other ideas a little bit more. So I wanted to get 10 prophecies completed, and I only got 4. I did make my 200,000 contribution points goal. I did not get married. I did get a pet, which kind of was like a secret little goal I had because I knew that that was possible at some point, and it just was very cute. I didn't hit 100 smoke signals completed. I got to 94. I finished the monkey, owl, and glypaton totems, and I did not complete the horse and the bear totems. I still do not know what the horse totem requires. Overall, this is a really fun playthrough, and I can't wait to do it again. And now that I have kind of a standard set for myself, I can kind of push the boundaries and see what else I can achieve. So stay tuned for the next video.